UCL, so what a difference a year makes. So I'm just sort of 1 year out of UCL. I guess the best thing to do is just give you a brief sort of synopsis of maybe why they've asked me to be here, and then sort of what my background is. I'm by no means an expert in leadership and management, but I think as a student I took quite an interest in it, and I think I got some quite unique experiences, which I'm sort of here to talk to you about, and then hopefully maybe get more of your interest into the topic. So I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, and I did a degree in Toronto as well as a master's degree at the University of Toronto before coming to UCL to study medicine. And it wasn't about sort of third year, about first year clinics that I started getting interested in leadership and management. And in particular, there was a social enterprise diagnosis which offers some sort of salons that you can go to, some nights that have lectures, that have networking opportunities. And with that, there was an opportunity to apply for an internship with KPMG in their health advisory section. I did that between fourth and fifth year. And that was a great opportunity. It was 4 weeks. It was sort of working with a team on an NHS project that looked at an acute services review. And it was exciting. It was very different than anything that I've done. And I got more and more interested in the Institute for Healthcare Improvement, which is it's an American organization, and they're very forward-thinking in leadership and management. And they offered a leadership academy at Harvard, and again, you applied for it, and they would fund your place at the academy, and that takes place every year in July. And so I went to that just after I graduated, and that was incredible. That was a week-long thing, and learned a lot, got to experience a lot of different things. And really, from that, I sort of wanted to get more leadership management things going at UCL. So I did a project that looked on, it was a needs assessment looking at leadership and management to be taught really early on at UCL. And so I started an SSC for first year students, which started this year actually. It's just finished in the first block. And that was a success. A lot of students really liked it. And again, it introduced basic concepts to students, but it actually, it integrated people in private industry to come in, give some talks on their role in leadership in the NHS, and then how, again, students can get involved, opportunities to work on projects and have publications. So that's a bit of my background. And now I'm an academic surgery foundation trainee at the North Middlesex, really enjoying it. And yeah, that's sort of me in a nutshell. So what we're going to talk about today is defining leadership and management, introducing you guys to the framework, the Medical Leadership Competency Framework, as well as the NHS Leadership Framework, which is a framework that actually amalgamates the medical leadership one and the clinical leadership one. And then I'm going to discuss to you some different leadership models. I've been asked to discuss certain ones in particular, and then introduce some tools and resources for further development. So a few of the things that I've mentioned, I'll talk to you in a bit more detail about how to get involved in as a student. Okay? So to start off, leadership and management. So leadership or management, there's a lot of confusion about their distinction, whether they're sort of polarizing definitions or whether they work in parallel. So is it important to make a distinction between leadership and management? So the literature is absolutely divided on this. So the best description I can find was that management, it's thought to be more concerned with systems and achieving specific goals, whereas leadership is sort of more focused on motivating and inspiring others. Now, the thing is, this definition can lead to quite sort of polarizing concepts. So you can imagine if you're a manager and you're working within a defined system, and you're looking at improving the system that you're working in, then if you define leadership as someone that challenges, that tries to sort of bring new concepts and introduce new ways of doing things, it's sort of, it unbalances what the manager is trying to do. But in clinical terms, I think they work quite in parallel, and to achieve sort of effectiveness, to achieve the effectiveness and the abilities of both a leader and a manager, I think you need to look at sort of the same qualities really. And in a clinical setting, it was Spurgeon and Craig. They came up with an example that said if a leader within a clinical organization is trying to introduce a new concept or introduce a new way of doing something, then there are many roles within that implementation that a manager will have to take part in. So there might have to be staffing, rota issues, there may have to be